Hello beautiful people, Anton here from Warhorse Training. I'm here today to talk about Bolo Young, talk about a few facts, few fictions, but mainly talk about him as a person, because you can never be too big to do martial arts, and he is my answer for when people say, "You're too big to do Kung Fu." No, I'm really not. Check this guy out. He's a massive inspiration for me, and he's one of the reasons why I actually got into bodybuilding alongside other people. From a martial art background, transitioning into bodybuilding or transitioning into weightlifting, it's quite scary because a lot of people don't want to be big, they don't want to be bulky, they don't want to lose mobility. Anyway, stay tuned guys, some quality facts coming up and a little bit about his training routine. Hello guys, like I said, bodybuilding and martial arts can coincide together, but what I'm talking about is the 90s here. Most viewers of a young age at the moment, in the 90s, they have their heroes, Bruce Willis, Jean-Claude Van Damme, etc. One of the most important movies for me that stood out in the 90s as being a martial art fan is Bloodsport. In 1988 it was released. I remember the main antagonist, played by Bolo Young, who appeared in multiple other movies, but particularly as the bad guy. It was mainly because of his structure. I looked at him and go, what the heck? Look at the size of that guy and look how he's moving. How is that possible? That bodybuilding muscular structure with those set of Kung Fu skills. And he wowed me enough to actually search for him and find out what other movies he's been in, what his training has been, and inspired me to go into, forms of amateur bodybuilding alongside martial arts. As you see on screen, he's huge, and that is what he's most known for, his physique. July the 3rd, 1946 was when he was born. In early childhood, he practiced Kung Fu through local teachers and found his own unique style that suited his frame. From early years, he displayed a great passion for sports, in particularly weight training. He got a very strong connection with iron, so much so that he became the actual champion of China for powerlifting. His splits was very much of a bodybuilding style, so he'd do one day legs, next day chest and triceps, next day back and biceps, next day shoulder and abs, day 5, arm day, day 6, he'd isolate Kung Fu and practice posing. He'd do 3 days of Kung Fu alongside 2 morning cardio sessions, and he'd do 1 session of rolling around. It's like Kung Fu wrestling on the floor. Now, mid-60s, he moved to Hong Kong and became a trainer in bodybuilding. In Hong Kong, he continued training himself until he got recognised by agents. 1969, he got his first role in film. He always played the villain, and this would continue to do so until he met Bruce Lee on a cigarette commercial, and they become very good friends. In 1973, Bruce Lee invited him to do a role in his movie, being the bodyguard called Bolo in Enter the Dragon on the main screen. It was a great opportunity for him. It's important to note that Bolo is not his real name. He actually adapted this name out of respect for Bruce after his death, because he was his friend and his hero on screen. Off movie set, Bruce Lee and Bolo used to train together often. Bolo even beat Bruce Lee in training scenarios and sparring due to his physical strength. As friends, they used to discuss different Kung Fu techniques. The audience was very disappointed that there was never an on-screen appearance where Bruce and Bolo fighted. There was meant to be one in Game of Death, as Bruce Lee kept saying, "I'll kill you in my next movie," but unfortunately Bruce Lee passed on 1 week before the movie even premiered. Now, Bolo then went on to go in Bloodsport and starred. He did a really good job, obviously, fighting against Jean-Claude Van Damme, and that's where he's most recognisable in. He's now a businessman and head of Kung Fu Bodybuilding Association. So the villain turned out to be very positive in the end. Through his kinesthetic training, his bodybuilding split, his Kung Fu, his iconic movies, bodybuilding physique, he actually made a good name for himself in the 90s. Jean-Claude Van Damme even asked him to star in his other movies. Anyway, I'm Anton from Warhorse Training. Like, comment and subscribe to YouTube and Facebook, and stay tuned for the next video, guys.